is already the stuff of legend. Patrick may be humble off the field, but on the field, he's flashy and unpredictable. A guy who makes you say, what? In all the best ways when the show is on. The more I think about it, he's got a lot in common with our own legend, Chris Berman. They're a prime-time match made in heaven. Here's Boom and the MVP, one-on-one.
Oh! Maybe I can spin in anything.
Your first real snow game. Was that fun?
It was awesome.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
I'll spin this anything.
I mean, to have the snow like that, being from Texas, I think probably the most snow I've ever seen, and so it was cool to get to go out there and play. And then we played well, which made it a lot better.
Did I look like Lamar? With that juke? I need my helmet, huh? I forgot about that.
At one point, I looked over. I'm watching on TV, and there's Coach Reed with the snow. He looked like the abominable snowman.
He was throwing some stuff out there about my hair and having the snow tips on the hair. So he was throwing a couple at me. You always gotta throw some jabs at him because he's always throwing jabs at you. So he's awesome. He enjoys it. It was good to kind of be out there and just having fun.
I think I'm a snow game guy. I don't know why, but I kind of like it. Everything's super slow, and I'm just like out here just like standing straight in the pocket, just like. Whoop, whoop.
Mahomes sneaks it, and somebody better guard that ankle. Mahomes may be hurt. Oh, no. He is in a lot of pain.
They are checking the right leg.
Quarterback, you're going to get hit all the time. It's just that here's week one, an ankle, and then here goes your knee. What are you thinking? Like, oh, so this is what quarterbacking in the NFL is more like?
Yeah, I mean, you understand that injuries happen, and that you understand that with this league and how much of a grind it is you have to take care of your body and prepare yourself each and every week. You can win in different ways. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned this year. It doesn't always have to be these deep shots, these acrobatic throws and all the different stuff. You can sit in the pocket, learn how to move the ball kind of down the field and figure out ways to score touchdowns. And that's the beauty of the NFL is that every team's good. And it's about finding a way to win, if that's putting up points or if that's just finding a way to hold on and let the defense win it.
So what you're saying is maybe you feel you're a better quarterback than last year when everything looked rosy.
I do, honestly. I mean, I understand the stats last year and the numbers that we put up and how amazing it was that we did all these different things. But I feel like as a quarterback and as a player in this league, I understand how to not hurt the team and how to put us in the best position to get the win. And I think that just comes with growth and experience. Is you don't make the same mistakes that you made in the past. And I feel like as I keep getting more and more experience, I'll keep becoming a better and better quarterback.
Welcome again to the Magic Show. Unreal.
That's amazing. I don't have the adjectives.
Now that you're 2 years into starting and you've been an MVP and you have a playoff run facing you, do you still think back to what you learned when you watched Alex Smith play here?
I do go back on that year a lot. I mean, you can look at that year and the tough stretch that we had in that year where we lost a couple games in a row there, and then how I saw him kind of go about it and still stay with the process and still kind of lift the team up and find ways to get us into the playoffs and do all those different things. And when you look at our season now, it's very similar where we kind of started hot and then lost some games that we wanted to win and that we thought we could win, and then now kind of trying to find this run now and understand that each and every day you have to take advantage of it, and that's stuff that I saw him do in my rookie season.
What do you feel about you and this team, the Chiefs, as high-flying and as good as you were and the #1 seed and all that last year? How might this, Patrick, end better than the last one?
I think the biggest thing that we've done this year that's different is that we've kind of dealt with the adversity of the season, and we've won in different ways. We've won games where we've had to score a lot of points, but we've also won games where the defense has shut them down, and we've found a way to win it that way. I think when you see the great football teams, that they learn how to win, and that's the biggest thing. It's not about one unit doing everything or one side of the ball trying to be the shutdown defense or the high-flying offense, but just finding ways to win football games. And that's why you see New England's done it for such a long time. And so we feel like as a team that we can win in many different ways, and I feel like that's going to help us out as we go into the playoffs and hopefully make a run at it.
Well, he's just everything you want in a QB as an organization. Today, his first career meeting between he and Mitchell Trubisky will go down at Soldier Field tonight. First two QBs picked in the 2017 draft. So, guys, this is an interesting matchup because we know the Chiefs are going to the playoffs, but this is an important game for them as they've looked better these past few weeks. Matt, when you look at Patrick Mahomes up against this Bears defense with Khalil Mack, what do you expect?
When you talk about the Bears, you talk about Khalil Mack, that's a great pass rush. I read on Twitter all the time, you can't block a great pass rusher with a tight end or a running back. That's true unless you're running a screen, okay? And you guys talked about how Philadelphia is great at screens. Where'd they learn it from? They learned it from Andy Reid, and Andy Reid knows how to do the screen game. Check this out. You got a great pass rusher, and you got him on a running back, no problem. These defensive guys cannot cut it loose because they know that the screens are coming. They're coming early and often. They're coming when the running back's on the left side and he's going to the left side. Big plays happen, so you can't cut it loose. Whether your hand's in the dirt or you're a blitzer coming. Here's a blitzer coming up the middle. Running back's on the left, he's going screen to the right. You'll have entire periods this week, Chicago will, of getting ready for this screen team. And yes, especially in the red zone. Andy Reid will have screens up from the 20, from the 15, from the 10, from the 5. It's part of what makes them so dangerous, and it's part of what's going to give Patrick Mahomes time to throw when it's not a screen. Those defenders in the back of their head, they're like, hey, I'm thinking screen, and that gives him, they got to defend it all.
Yeah, it's funny because this is kind of like, the pupil against, the teacher and everything else. And everybody assumes, well, the teacher has the huge advantage. That's not the case. And it seems so weird, but when you look at it, and my proof is this way. Bill Belichick's the greatest coach ever. And his coaches have had limited success as head coaches. But against Bill Belichick, they're almost 500 against those teams. So believe me, Nagy, he knows all about the screen games. He knows that. Hey, look, follow that center. That's the important part of that screen game. And they'll be prepared for it. So I expect this to be a heck of a game, a really close game.
Yeah, for the Chiefs, it's just not about making the playoffs. It's about winning championships, and that's what everybody's been waiting for, this defense. And I say since Thanksgiving, this defense in terms of situationally, third down, red area, points per game, they have been playing great. How do you get this offense producing? Get them extra possessions. How do you steal them? Players like Tyrann Mathieu. Those type of players that can read the quarterback, get those interceptions just like this. Playing inside on the slot to the 3 receiver side. Watch how he's got eyes inside, deciphering the route combination. Knows he has help inside and over the top. So as soon as that number 2 receiver breaks out, number 3 right there, uses his left arm even. I'm running this route for you. I'm going to take it. Great players do this, stealing possessions for the Kansas City Chiefs offense. This is how you're going to win championships. Watch him look to the defensive right. He knows it's a 3-by-1. Passes that bait right there. That's cheese right there, Moss. He don't want that. Going right to the next window and steals that possession. Tyrann Mathieu is a player they have to have continue to make these big plays in the big games for the championship they want. And if you want to test me down the field against a bigger receiver, get that out of here. That's the honey badger right there. This is the type of defensive intensity you need. You talk about fans wanting to know, well, how can we be better defensively? Steal 2 possessions per game. If you do that, you'll be in Miami.
You're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs winning championships. But I want to talk about a guy that is familiar with championships. 2 championships he has. I'm talking about Ball So Hard University. I'm talking about Terrell Suggs. Nobody's talking about the addition of Terrell Suggs for the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, you have Frank Clark. Yes, you have Chris Jones. But guess what you're getting in Terrell Suggs? You're getting a veteran that knows the game, a champion, some leadership, and a guy that knows how to close the door in critical situations. You're talking about the secondary with Mathia back there, Honey Badger back there for the Kansas City Chiefs. Guess what? If they're able to make plays when you have guys up front getting after the quarterback. So guess what? Frank Clark, Chris Jones, help has been sent. Ball So Hard University's on the way, and he's ready to make a run for another championship.
Man,
I like that
I
addition.
agree with you so much, Randy, because T-Sizzle, I'm sorry, okay, yeah, he probably can't play every snap anymore. He doesn't have to.
They don't need him to, right?
No, he's just coming in there on third down, the critical downs, and watch out. And one thing I know about Terrell Suggs, one of the most prideful guys I've ever coached, all right? And you don't think it hurt him to see his name, he gets released? Are you out of your mind? He's going to go crazy.
Yes.
And now this could be just that guy. Teddy talked about getting those turnovers. Well, Terrell also, he doesn't just sack the quarterback, he forces fumbles. I think it's a great pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Look, this is already a defense that's allowed the fewest points in the NFL since week 11. Now they add this guy. Like you said, he may not play that many downs, but just the intimidation factor going up against Mitchell Trubisky, looking him in the eyes and maybe having a few words for him, it's sure going to be fun to watch. You know what else was fun to watch? Our pick standings after last week.
Wow.
Maybe that's just for me, though. Maybe it's just me. 6